Hello, Mr. Kesh. You have to open your microphone, I think.
Yes, good morning.
Oops.
Good morning, good day to you as usual, whenever you listen to this series of knowledge series of Keshe Foundation. Another day, another start, 390th Knowledge Seekers teaching program. And we hope that we can add to the knowledge in a very beautiful way today. As we said, we are working in two directions. One, creating a new condition for space development, and the other, trying to make life in a way accessible and easy for all of us in every shape and form. Last week was a beautiful teaching and progress for us as what we expected and what we convey to many governments in how the Keshe Foundation will see and how will develop. We had a wonderful two-day conference in Bucharest, in Romania. And it's amazing to see how knowledge seekers have developed and extended the knowledge, the scientific achievement, the process and the progress in a way in delivering new technologies, new understanding. It's beautiful, as I said in the conference, that we gave the technology freely, and the knowledge seekers in response are teaching it, working it freely to extend the knowledge of the others. We had a beautiful meeting with representatives from Bulgaria, from Romania, from Russia, and this gives us an indication that the technology and the science is in progress. And the spreading of the knowledge is exactly as how we envisaged it when we released it to be in public domain. And from what we see and what will come, many new technologies will emerge from this technology. Everyone has taken the technology into their own level of understanding. They have developed it to their own level of understanding, and they are progressing it in the same way, where we do not expect to see in a way that the knowledge and the technology will disappear. It's well rooted, it's well tested, and knowledge seekers are extensively pushing new boundaries to see where it can go, what it can do. And as we said, we are pushing on two ways with the Keshe Foundation. One, teaching in public, and one, pushing the governments to, in a way, join us, and in a way, to extend the technology in different directions and dimensions. Today's teaching goes back, in a way, to bring the technology into a different dimension, but in a way that you all know. We try for the first time to bring the process of the creation of the emotion, bring in the process of the creation of the soul of the man, and understanding of the elevation of one or the other. This is part of the extended teaching which will come. We taught you for nearly 2 years about the soul. We taught you for years about the creation of soul of physicality and soul of the man. And then in the background, every now and then, we tipped it a little bit forward. We tipped it forward by the introduction of the Ganses. We tipped it forward by introduction of the cup of life. We introduced you the structure of the, in a way, the 5-cup stacker. Now, today, I introduce you to a new dimension which brings it more to reality. The purpose of today's teaching is for you to see another dimension, something you know, but now is put in order in a way that you saw what we call the 5-cup vertical system, the cup of man. Now I would like to introduce to you what is known as a cup of universe. And the reason for this is multiple. I know for sure that many of you will take it further than it goes, because you will never, according to our work, we've seen extended the knowledge. But today, I introduce you something very delicate and very simple, but needs a lot of understanding. This, if understood, will change many of your lives. If not understood, is another thing you make and then you play with, and then you'll be amazed if something happens. The cup of universe is simple. We try step by step to make you independent of killing, to consume. We make you to see, to understand the creation of your emotion. We see you to understand what it means to bring the two dimensions together in the dimension of the soul of the man and the soul of physicality of the man. If you go back and look, the body of the man is a combination of the soul of physicality and the soul of the man, and interaction with what we call the inertia of this planet, and how it comes to become contained, and how it becomes to be held in the containment of itself in the dimension of the elevation of the soul of the man and the soul of physicality of the man. And from there on, many, many other application and implication of this technology. The reason we are teaching this is pressure on pharmaceutical. You will understand in a coming time what this means. In the process of the development of the what we call cups of life, and one cup, one life, and everything else, we taught you step by step to take a new dimension, a new direction, a new understanding. And we guided you in a very simple way in how you could extend the knowledge, how you could bring the totality together. In the body of the man, we have always seen, as we said before, the extension and intention and application of the technology in an appropriate way, where mankind accesses the totality. In so many ways, once we start playing the games of the creation, it becomes very, very interesting how things will change, how the games will become in a different way apparent. If you go back to what we started with a cup, one life, with creation and understanding of the materials, and then going back into the cup of life, creation of the soul, and then creation of the soul of physicality, and then going down to everything else to be the gravitational magnetic fields in a cup of earth at the bottom. What you should have understood and done by now, which no one has done, is this represents the man in a vertical section. What doesn't really represent the man in totality? The teaching of today is extremely simple, but will bring evolution and revolution in the world of the science, in the world of medicine, and in the world of food industry. In a space, you do not carry medicine. In a space, you do not carry what we call water, you do not carry food, but you carry the soul of the man. So it's time for man to start to go through what I call pre-training to become man of space, to understand the process, to understand the gravity of the creation of life. So with the mankind, if we give him a cup of universe, has to look in a different way and has to understand the totality of existence, his life on this planet. What do you have? In this present time, you have in your knowledge a number of what I call elements, which you have privilege to use, but you have to understand too. You have CuO, which comes from copper oxide. You have, on the other hand, let me clear this, then you don't get confusion. You have copper oxide, and you have the zinc oxide, or what we call nano-coated copper and nano-coated zinc. This means nano-coated for both those of you who understand how we abbreviate. You always had a copper nano-coated and a zinc plate. When you put a nano-coated copper in a spiral shape and a zinc nano-coated in a spiral shape, for the first time, you create the field of emotion. Where, in fact, in the center of this field sits the soul of the man. If you remember, when we nano-coated and created the spiral, we entered the dimension of multiplicity of the field forces. Here, you do not create any more CO2. Here, in conjunction with other factors in this cup, you create emotion. You create condition to change, to strengthen, or to bring in operation the soul of the man. But this is not so simple. The body of the man has another part to it. You have the iron, and you have iron in the dimension of the blood of the man, but you have iron in the dimension of the gravity of the planet too. In so many ways, now the body of the man needs processing, needs dimension and direction, needs to be able to interact. So if you have understood the process of the creation in a very simple way, you have understood the process of where you put Zn in nano-coating and Zn without nano-coating. But now is the multiplicity of the application and implication. Then you have to do the same you have what we call the copper, and the copper as a state of heart of the man. To make it clearer for you, I'll put this in a spot. Here, the zinc and copper are in a natural state and not in the nano-coated state, where the spirals indicate interaction of the fields of the soul and interaction of the emotion of the matter state of the existence. In so many ways, now you have life, you have a structure of the life, but you have not committed life to its next extension, which means to have energy to move multiple, energy to be able to survive. The condition of the creation of the multiplicity of the energy comes through two things. You had the what I call the galvanized system, which you have. You need these two to create the energy, the sugar, the CH3. And this gives you two dimensions of energies. In a way, if you understand it, you have a structure which gives you everything you need in the depth of the universe. Everything which is needed to contain and live for man on this planet. But there are a number of factors which you have to consider in the process of creation. Up to now, you always used sodium salt. But life of the man has more salts, has more combination. For this cup to work, you need to find the right combination of the sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium salt. It's not anymore just the salt you produce. This cup has to contain what man relies on in every dimension of the life, including silica. Now you have a man in a cup, not man in 5 cups. Now you come to understand the totality of the structure of the life in the dimension of the existence of the man. In so many ways, everything we have taught you from the beginning of the time of the GANS technology is in this cup. Everything which affects the life of the man in the dimension of the soul and the physicality is in this cup. And in so many ways, for the first time, you can find the position of the soul and the soul of physicality. If you look into this structure, you'll find out, you find a collection of the cup of life, the collection of the cup of man, the stacker units, all sits in one cup. And in so many ways, mankind has to understand this to be able to move forward. Let me explain to you what you have to understand. Fe in nano-coated spiral represent the gravitational field of the environment. Fe as iron itself indicates the creation of the blood in the presence of copper nano and a copper on its own. But at the same time, with a copper nano and a copper itself, with the presence of the blood, it creates the condition of the emotion, where our blood transfers our emotion to the brain. The interaction of these two fields on each other creates the soul of the man. You need the galvanized paper, what we call films, in a spiral and a non-spiral to indicate and create the condition of creation of the sugar energy, where in interaction with a nano copper, it brings dimension of the soul to the energy. We never had this before. Mankind never understood that even the energy in its motion has emotion. This is why the energy of a thought leads to the creation of cancer. The energies of thought in motion brings love, care. In so many ways, when you understand the structure of this cup, you will see it covers every aspect of the life. And in the process, you have to understand how you create conditions, how you manipulate the position and existence by changing these to another dimension and the gravitational field. Everything else will change, will allow you to live in a new dimension, in a new place in the universe, where iron is not the gravitational field for the strength balance of the magnetic field, but could be zinc, could be copper, could be plutonium. Because in essence, connection to the position will change the structure of the man. In so many ways, mankind will come to understand a combination of life, a combination of understanding the exact position of being in essence of existence. If you move to the position of nano-coating your galvanized sheet, then you come to create the totality of the soul, of the emotion, of the energy which you absorb, which means now you become complete. In so many ways, everything in this cup brings every dimension and direction in the life of man. You can elevate the soul of the man if you know how to create a field in this area that allows the man emotion to take the position of centrality of what we call the soul. In so many ways, if you understand the gravity and the potential of this system, in time to come, mankind will become complete in being able to absorb every energy within the structure of the universe and unicos. What's on this table, what you can see, is taken billions of years to develop. I'm sure many of you will try to do it in 5 minutes and make every accusation, as your brain is as small as your thoughts. understand this, work with it, and you find a key to life in the universe. Work in the direction of transmutation of energy, you find how to travel in the dimension of the soul of the man than the UFOs. In so many ways, in totality, you create the what we call the existence in one dimension. In the essence of creation, you will find many, many answers to many illnesses. Solution to food, solution to pollution, solution into understanding the totality of the life and creation. In so many ways, if you understand the extent of the fields and the powers of these systems, and in manipulating them in the right way, you can extend the soul of the man, or you can extend the soul of the physicality of the man. It's you who will decide how to manifest a cup of life in the dimension of the universal direction. In a way, if you understand how to make this combination, you will come to understand you have the capability to do many things which has not been available and understood by humanity. In understanding of the totality of the work of the universe, mankind will come to understand the truth about himself, the truth about his life, the truth about the way his physicality has taken shape, and the way mankind will go to move forward into the next level of understanding. In the process of creation, everything which is available becomes the source of elevation and creation itself. Nothing can come from outside, but the entirety of the life sits within the structure of existence, within the environment which is available and has been made conditioned on what is available. You can move to move and live the exact life as you've done on earth. If you can adjust yourself to the position and the condition in the mixture of the fields of the universe, which have led to the creation of the moon. Otherwise, life becomes imprisoned on what we call the village of earth. Understanding of the technology is the beauty of the science of creation. What you see on the table, what's here, has been in your hand for past years and years. But as you have not understood the process of the creation, you have not understood the process of the elevation. How to elevate the soul, how to elevate the understanding of the man in the process of the creation. Be wise, very wise, and do not jump and make these, as you might not get what you expect, and you might regret in what you do because you do not see what you have aimed for, because you haven't understood the totality of it, and your body and your soul decides otherwise. When you make these cups, it has to be with a pure intention. Make these cups with the wrong intention, you will have a cup and piece of metals in it. Make these cups with a pure intention of what has been asked to be, to become, and you will see the elevation of the soul of the man. Do not expect to see miracle, because that's exactly what you become, the miracle itself. And then you cannot see with it. Understand the process, understand the positioning, understand the creation, understand everything which is needed, and how it's been positioned, and how it's been mixed, and how it has been brought to be, in one sense or other, to the process of what I call creation. The cup of universe is not for the man alone, as it has every, what we call, physical entity, energy, and field movement to lead to creation of life anywhere in the universe, irrespective of time, place, and position, and field strength. And if you can create combination of mixtures of fields, you can create life. Life is not exclusivity of this planet, never been and never shall be. But we have to understand how life of the man will be in different environments of the universe, as other lives have taken shape according to the environment of their existence, the field interaction, the field strength, the combination of the motion of the fields and the fields of the environment. Then you will understand soon how life should look, how you should be able to see yourself once you arrive at the position and destination. Teaching of today is very short, but the knowledge of it is beyond comprehension of the humanity. But the pictures of it so simple. And with simplicity, we have brought you the most advanced knowledge of the creation. In so many ways, you can feed your soul, you can feed your physicality, you can elevate the soul of the physicality, you can elevate the soul of the man, you can understand the creation of emotion, and altogether how creation has come about to be on every corner of this universe. Maybe today's teaching will bring you a major breakthrough in understanding. Maybe today's teaching will allow you to understand more in totality of the life and creation. Many of you have been waiting for one thing, and I'm 100% sure many of, as we say in English, your palms twitching and asking yourself a question. How do we connect this? I'll leave that to the man. I'll leave that to the totality of the structure of the understanding of the man. And in totality, if you understand it, if you understood the combination of the work of it, you should have been able to understand or comprehend the essence of creation. In this diagram, everything which leads to the creation of the brain of the man exist here. If you have not understood it, I draw it for you, that you can see. This will explain to you a lot if you understood a lot. For example, if you look at the structure and the setting, the soul of the physicality on the right, read to the left and to the heart. There are many combinations of the work in this diagram. We got to understand by repositioning any of these in different positions and different dimensions, you change different factors. If you remember, for example, if you had the system which you introduced specifically nano-coated copper and iron, or nano-coated of iron in a specific salt condition with the presence of zinc. You remember what you got? You created blood. A blood which itself receives in this combination energy. Now you understand. When you put a nano copper in this condition, what do you receive? So your cup has an energy, has the energy of the blood and a cycle to expand. When you feed this to a plant and you take this dimension of totality of the interaction with zinc and in presence of magnesium, you receive the nourishment of the vertical people of this planet as the gravitational field strength of the planet dictates it according to the magnesium level. In the presence of what you call the energy field of the circulation as a basic sugar. So you understand this cup has billions of application and implication. And it depends on every way that you can combine, you can position, you can nano. And then this gives you an insight in the dimension of the existence of the man and why mankind has a diversity of the features, comprehension, understanding, and energies. But your soul controls all this single-handedly without interfere from anywhere. And this process has taken billions of years to develop, to balance out, to be able to understand the totality of it. You need to understand the process of creation, the process of interaction, the process of elevation. Go back to your 5 cups and come back into this cup. It's 1 cup. And you will see this covers every aspect of what is in the what we call the cup of man, and in addition to cup of universe. And in this process, many of you will learn new dimensions. Many of you will learn new understanding of the totality of the world of creation. Those of you who will leave this cup to be will not be surprised if your amino acid start creating life. In a way, if you look at it, we said before that the life started in Central Africa on the East Coast side, and it started in a bog where everything was ready and the condition and the temperature was perfect for a continuous sustaining life condition. This is the bug of life in Central Africa. This is how life started. You got to realize when you add what we call galvanized plate, you have your nickel, you have other materials included in it. So we bring as part of the play into it. When you have the magnesium, you bring in the solidification of the condition. When you have calcium, you bring the essence of the creation of the gravitational field, for creation of the bone structure. When you bring potassium, you bring the condition of the division of the cells. And in that process, brings in as a combination of the interaction of it, its own phosphor and its own sulfur, which one will clean it and one will give it the backbone structure of the DNA. And in the process of understanding it, it'll bring the life anywhere in this and on this planet. In so many ways, I have brought you a gift of creation, a gift of life in the universe. It's up to you, and according to your understanding, what you do with this. The only thing I'm not giving you is how to connect it. How to create interaction with the dimensions and relations of what you need, in what purpose and what condition. And how you stack this in a condition of the life of the man in the universe. Hope many of you will have a beautiful, peaceful, restful time. As I know, those of you are the knowledge seekers. I've just got the peel not to sleep for centuries, as to find a combination of interaction of these fields and what they can do and what they do. But there is one secret in this cup. This is the cup of youth. This is what all of you and humanity has been looking for. If you get the combination right, you have found the life existence in the dimension of physicality, if you do wish so, as a cup of youth, as a cup of life, as where the man shall not die, in the dimension of physicality. But I'm sure many of you will have a wonderful time struggling to understand how and where is that. In so many ways, those of you who strives to create this cup will become more knowledgeable, as if it's made with a pure intention of extension of the soul and not just something to do to gain something to go for. And in so many ways, I have given you a key to everlasting life, extension to the soul dimension, to repair the physicality and back to the physicality to be able to enjoy the dimension of existence and tangibility. You got excited with one cup, one life. This is one cup and a life in the universe. You just got to understand what to do and how to do and how to create the condition of its position and existence. This is a cup which, what we call it, the gift, if you understand it. In so many ways, in the dimension of the life, everlasting life, this cup, understanding the knowledge of the cup, not the physicality of the cup, will give mankind what mankind has been looking for. To live, not to kill, to absorb energies beyond the dimension and position that you do not need to destroy another life. And then at the same time, to be able to interact with the body of the man. And at the same time, to be able to extend the soul of the man. We go to a break and we come back to answer any questions. And let's see how you as knowledge seekers will take this further. Rick, would you like to break or? Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Kesh. Okay, we'll have a few minutes break here and be back shortly with more of the 390th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, July 22nd, 2021.